Hello and welcome to the Kongversation. Mini. I'm Hyle Russell.
And I'm Cameron Reigle.
And why are we doing a mini episode on the new Rare Fangamer merchandise that was just revealed this past week? Because the DK Vine and the Kongversation were usually not on the merchandise beat. Stuff has been coming out quite a bit the last few years, and the only time we've really done a news story and we've done a conversation was last autumn when Fangamer revealed the new Rare Racers line of merchandise, which, of course, is the first Diddy Kong Racing merchandise in around 2 decades. And we just got a Timber pin and we got a Banjo pin, Banjo in the Diddy Kong Racing cart. And it was very exciting, and we spent an entire episode, actually it spun off into 2 episodes, sort of, but we just discussed the implications for this, what it meant as a fandom to have the Diddy Kong Racing IP revived in a way that would make sense for Rare to revive it, or at least Rare's merchandisers, licensees, whatever, to revive it. And it was a big deal. And that was it. Like, I wasn't going to make a habit of doing episodes about new merchandise or doing news stories on DK Vine about new merchandise. I'll, talk about it on our social media channels, sure, but not really the kind of stuff we cover on DK Vine, which is mostly game-centric. However, this last week, Fangamer unveiled a slew of new Rare merchandise, and included in that batch is a new Rare Racer shirt. But really, just the whole selection of this product line for Rare and Banjo-Kazooie and Conker's Bad Fur Day and Diddy Kong Racing, the DKU in general, it was so exciting that I was like, you know what, this next episode of the Kongversation, let's just discuss it, because it continues to tie into the Rare Racers thing, and I'm just jazzed about all of it. I spent over $100 in one go. It was a demoralizing moment, but also really exciting because I didn't want to be without a lot of this stuff. So, and I know you're the same, Cameron.
Yeah, I tried to pick and choose my priorities and still kind of went overboard.
Yes. I prioritized 3 things, but with shipping and everything, it still topped over $100. But I don't regret it. The FOMO was too much for this, and this is all stuff I genuinely wanted. So we actually do have a call, and we had a patron sort of write in with their thoughts. So why don't we go ahead and play the call? We'll read what the patron had to say, and then we will just get into the nitty-gritty of this Fangamer merchandise. I should point out, really quick, that this is not paid promotion. We are not being paid under the table by Fangamer to talk about this. We are just enthusiastic about Rare merchandise because we are fans who have been so long without it, and it's when we get quality, affordable merchandise that is ticking off all sorts of niche boxes, it makes us excited.
It sounds like I'm being a shill, but I wouldn't blow all this money on Fangamer merch if I didn't think they did really high quality work.
Right. So that's the reason we're doing this. There's nothing nefarious.
And even that, I know that sounds like, oh geez, that sounded like ad copy, but I mean it sincerely.
Yeah, when the Kongversation does do paid ads, you will know, because it will probably be for something I wouldn't ordinarily shill, like boner pills or girdles, or so this is in our wheelhouse. This is something we're excited about already. So that's the reason for this. And that being said, let's hear what our listeners have to say.
Hi there, DK Vine Kongversation. I am Brittle Nipples Kevin, and I am kind of drunk. I've been drinking Kraken rum. Yay! I don't know why I did a thumbs up. You can't see it, but I did a thumbs up. I saw that you're doing a mini episode about the Fangamer stuff, and I don't know if you have a co-host because you didn't put it in Facebook or Twitter, but hi Hyle, hi maybe somebody else. Anyways, the Fangamer stuff. They made a plushie of talking shit. Like, oh, it's so great. But that's kind of not why I'm calling. I know you have the first four figures stuff, and if you aren't aware, I'm actually a member of the first four figures on fan group on Facebook, and they showed a render of a Great Mighty Poo statue, so, are you ready to pay like $400+ for a giant piece of shit? Because I am. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. I hope it sings. But yes, if I can find the money, I'm definitely getting the Fangamer plush. Although I still need to get like the Conquer one and all the Jinjos and the Jinjonator because I'm poor and these things are expensive. But yeah, hope you're looking forward to that. I love you guys. Bye.
Thank you, Brittle Nipples Kevin, drunk off Kraken rum, calling in about plush poop. And the first four figure stuff is great. When I think about all of the companies that have been part of this new era of rare merchandise, I would say Fangamer and First Four are at the top of my list. And the difference with Fangamer versus First Four Figures is First Four Figures turns out an incredibly high product. They got great customer support. They ship things very carefully, which is an important thing with me. Utilize the bubble wrap, people. But First Four Figures, they're enormous. And I have two of them. I have the Banjo and Kazooie statue, and I have the Conquer on his throne. And I'm good. I'm kind of good there. If they ventured into Donkey Kong and we got like a K. Rool or something, then I would have to reconsider. But I had to tap out with the Mumbo Jumbo and the Soldier Conquer. So if they do a Great Mighty Poo statue, I can't justify it. For one, I just don't have space. This new era of rare merchandise, it's amazing how quickly my DK Vine office space has just been smothered underneath a pillow like the end of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest with DKU merchandise. I never thought I would see the day where I would have too much DKU merchandise. So I had to quit there. The Fangamer stuff is different in that it's relatively super affordable, and I have a little bit more room for it, although I'm questioning where I'm going to put my Great Mighty Poo. So
yeah, I think the First Four Figure statues look really amazing. I love the level of detail and attention evident in them, which I say having only looked at the photos because I've just kind of resigned that's a product line I'm going to have to admire from afar.
The the Conquer on his throne is honestly one of my favorite collectible pieces that I have. And I'm looking at it right now, and it's just something, whenever I look at it, I stop and I go, I can't believe that exists, and I'm so glad I have it. But the Mumbo statue I was going to get, I was all ready to get it, and then I just took a look around, and I'm like, where does it go?
Yeah, it's again, like, no disrespect to the work they're doing, but big, high end, and breakable are the three big red flags for me owning something.
Yeah.
Because if I have that in my living space anywhere, I'm going to spend every waking moment terrified that I'm going to accidentally knock it over. Yeah, somehow.
I've given them their own, like, tables. They have their own display tables, Cameron. Not together. They have separate display tables because they are enormous. I cannot justify anymore. Like, maybe if DK Vine had the sprawling real estate that Rare actually has, then sure, I would have hallways lined with statues.
I think my ceiling is like the ukulele statue that we had to go through eBay channels to get because of certain circumstances.
Yeah.
Where it's a sort of medium-sized, mid-ranged, and made of a soft material.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about Fangamer. Like, Fangamer, it's just amazing the products they're able to churn out and still be within your budget. I mean, it does get pricey when it stacks, but just as, like, one or two pieces, you're like, yeah, I could swing that, sure.
And they're priced reasonably for the products they are. I mean, it's t-shirts, it's plushies, it's pins.
Right.
Like, these are all things with established price points that they're well within the reasonable range for.
Yeah. So thank you for calling Brittle Nipples Kevin. And you'll have to send pictures when you get the inevitable Great Mighty Poo statue in your living quarters. Curious to see how you display that. We've got this comment sent in by DJ Cat, and I will just read it as written. Hey all, DJ Cat here, calling in about the new Rare stuff on Fangamer. I'm quite impressed with the latest batch of stuff, and in fact, all of the Rare stuff they have on their store. I've already bought the Timber the Tiger pin and a Perfect Dark shirt, and they are both great. I will most likely get some things from this new batch of stuff. The Conquer Cheers, Jeers, and Beers shirt looks great, as does the Rare Racer shirt, despite my slight disappointment that it doesn't have the plane, and maybe one other character on it. Also, the name Timber's Isle doesn't quite sound right to me. I'd prefer Timber's Island, but it's a minor gripe. Either way, it's still a log damn Diddy Kong Racing shirt, so that's bloody excellent. Kind of makes you wonder if this is all leading up to a potential Rare Racers game. Food for thought, eh? Well, I very much doubt it. I know Cameron, Jeff, and I had our big, oh, wouldn't it be nice daydreaming episode shortly after we talked about the pins on the Kongversation. And it's still something I want to push for. It's still something I would absolutely love to see, and hope springs eternal. But I don't want anybody to get their hopes up or misconstrue DK Vine talking about this as much as we do as, us knowing something like, oh yeah, this is all leading up to a Rare Racers game. Wink, wink. No, we're just excited that Diddy Kong Racing has new merchandise. That's all.
I think unless you're Phil Spencer, t-shirts don't correlate to a new game getting made.
Right. Now, if whatever,
as cool as this is, and as much as I really would love something based on this concept, like, that is a love letter to my sensibilities specifically.
Yeah. Now, if whatever replaces E3 this June ends with Phil Spencer unzipping and showing off this Rare Racer shirt, then sure. Yeah, then all bets are off. But yeah, this is just Fangamer, like, knowing their audience and working with Rare to make it possible. So it's great. I mean, it's that's all it is. And
like, I would put this another way. If if they were legally able to make a Diddy Kong Racing shirt, would anybody assume a Diddy Kong Racing game was in the works?
Yes, because
I don't think
that's
so.
the way the internet works, Cameron.
Yeah, I set the bar too low.
Yeah. I mean, I am hopeful this might grease the wheels for things like a Diddy Kong Racing, or rather Rare Racers, like ship set in Sea of Thieves. You know, hey, the 25th anniversary is coming up. I'm just saying, maybe, I don't know.
I would put it this way. I don't think any of this merchandise is the result of something already in the works to like tie into it, but I would love if it planted the seed for something.
Exactly. Like maybe a friendly anthropomorphic stopwatch, or a friendly looking stopwatch that could be believed to be anthropomorphic by, very, very eager players. Put that in Sea of Thieves. I'm just spitballing ideas here.
I don't know. I don't trust people in Sea of Thieves when they say that they're friendly.
All that being said, I'm so glad that the Rare Racers line is continuing, that the pins weren't just a one-off, that our over-eager enthusiasm about it didn't scare anybody off at Fangamer. We're like, oh, they're going to be this weird about it. Let's just stop. We got a new t-shirt. Let's lead with the t-shirt. The primary reason we're doing this, because as cool as the Great Mighty Poo plush is, I don't think we will be doing an episode about the new merch if that was the lead. The Rare Racer shirt, it is a design by Studio Illustrata and John K, who has been behind numerous Rare-related Fangamer pieces. And it is a shirt that says Rare Racers on top. By the way, it is stylized as a spaced 2 words, Rare Racers, not the compound version that the iconography that Fangamer uses for the brand has. But
the title of the shirt is also with the space.
Yeah. But if you actually look on the size that they print on the interior underneath the collar, they use the same Rare Racers logo from the pins, which is great to see that piece of Fangamer's own iconography for this brand perseveres. But it's Banjo and Conker racing across Timbers Island in a kind of sepia monochromy kind of look. Banjo's in his car, Conker is in the hovercraft. Banjo is clutching a golden balloon, and it says Rare Racers. It has the Rareware logo on the lower left, a kind of a circular oval that says 97, the year Diddy Kong Racing came out, and then it says Timbers Isle Adventure Rareware. And that was what DJ Cat was referring to, that they use Timbers Isle instead of Timbers Island. I think that's just a stylistic choice. I don't think I wouldn't assume there's anything to read into that. It just shortens it up a little bit. But it's the first actual official reference to Timbers Island in any capacity in 15 years since Diddy Kong Racing DS. So, huge win for the DKU fans out there. We got Timbers Island referenced on an official product. We did it, folks. We can call it a week early this week. We just go hit the bar and celebrate. No,
Yeah, we got the foot in the door. Next is the hand.
If you look closely, and actually I realized this, hence patterning the key arts for YouTube and SoundCloud for this episode. After this is actually modeled after the official renders from Diddy Kong Racing of Banjo in his car and Conker in his hovercraft. The key difference, though, and you were the one who first pointed this out to me, is that this is not the Diddy Kong Racing era Conker. Conker is wearing his Bad Fur Day hoodie and gloves.
Yeah, I am curious as about that choice. I wonder if that is a conscious touch by the artist, or if that is like, Rare's like standard branding. This is what Conqueror looks like. He is in this outfit, no matter the context. Or if this is specifically like meant to be like represent like a reunion of these characters years later. But
yeah, that's what I took from it, that you could look at it as it's not a snapshot of what happened in 97. It's them returning to Timbers Island 25 years later and having a friendly little race. But I don't know. I don't know any details. I don't know how this works. I would imagine, considering all of the Conquer product that we've had so far, that it might actually be style guidelines, like, hey, Conquer can only be depicted like this, or or maybe this, like but having the Conquer's Pocket Tales, Diddy Kong Racing era Conquer on merch is, if not expressly prohibited, then not something that's actively encouraged. Like, this is what we want Conquer to look like in the public eye.
Yeah, the reason I think that might be the case is I'm remembering the Conquer U2's figure, which was originally solicited looking like Live and Reloaded Conquer, but when it came out was reverted to Bad Fur Day Conquer.
Yes.
And that could have been just because, well, the Bad Fur Day Conquer is the most remembered version of Conquer, but I could also see it being a directive from Rare that, like, this is the Conquer we're going with.
Yeah, and, Dustin and I just did that whole episode about the varying looks of Conquer over the years, and yeah, they've stuck squarely with the 2001 Conquer look. And in fact, the U2s was interesting in that they kept the Live and Reloaded throne, even though they changed him to Bad Fur Day Conquer, which says to me that the biggest issue was, hey, we don't want lime green shorts Conquer on any merchandise. We don't want to confuse the brand. But
yeah, I don't think there's a style guide for the comfy chair.
Right. But again, like, I'm not sure, but that just makes the most sense knowing how these things work. So it's fine. Like, I don't mourn creepy gloveless Conquer that much, and it is fun to imagine that this is a reunion between Banjo and Conquer on Timbers Island after all of these years. Yeah, it would have been nice to have seen another character in there, Timber, Pipsy, Bumper, but if you're gonna have two paired together, it's fun to have Banjo and Conquer, especially since they were the two who didn't make it back in Diddy Kong Racing DS.
Yeah, and I do think, like, I hate to say this because, like, it's DK Vine, but as realistically, these two are the heavy hitters of the cast that Rare owns, and I feel like anybody else would be overshadowed tremendously in this.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's why you have those two in there, and then you sneak in someone else. You smuggle them in. But
right.
I understand.
I mean, like I would have loved to see, like, smuggle Pipsy in there in a plane in the far background, or Timber. Like I'd say Timber's probably, like, I mean, his name's on the shirt. At least he's got that.
And we already have a piece of Timbers Island. We already have a piece of Timber merchandise with the pin, so, the groundwork has been laid for more Timber.
But I also get compositionally why we don't have another character in here either. It's a really well-balanced image already.
Yeah. So it works. I ordered it. It was first on my list. I was like, well, I have to have that.
It could have been a shirt that just said Rare Racers on it, and I would have ordered it. So, I'm glad it's also got a fun design.
Yeah, I'm an easy mark when it comes to anything related to Diddy Kong Racing. It is a must-have for me. Like, those pins, everything stopped. Time, space. It's just, I had to order them right away.
Like I said, I had to make some difficult picking and choosing for the sake of my wallet, but if it's Diddy Kong Racing, it's an automatic sell.
Absolutely. And then my second choice, my second in the cart, was the Great Mighty Poo singing plush. Now, this is yet another DKU plush designed by Versiris, who has given us so much via Fangamer. Her designs for Banjo-Kazooie, Yuka and Laylee, Conker himself. And when I say Conker himself, I mean it, since Chris Sieber actually did new voice clips for him. When you squeeze him, he talks. And the Jinjos, the 5 standard colors from the original game, and the Jinjonator, whose eyes light up. And got Gruntilda, which doubled. It was a double context. It could either work as Gruntilda as the character interacting with your other plushes, or it could have been just the Grunty plush scene at the end of Grunty's Furnace Fun. Works 2 ways. It's great. And now we have the Great Mighty Poo singing plush, utilizing the actual song as recorded way back when by Chris Marlowe.
In the ad video, it seems to be the Live and Reloaded version specifically, because it's got the reverb.
And it seems to be censored. We will see. It's hard to say if they did that for the plush or for promoting the plush, or if you actually get it. It will be uncensored.
I'm not sure, because the ad copy says, and I quote, "The Great Mighty Poo song includes some bleeped swearing."
Yeah.
So I would think it's going to be bleeped in the actual audio of the plush, but the audio on the page, demonstrating how it works, seems like it was bleeped in post. So,
yeah.
Not really sure.
It says parental advisory, which, granted, it is a giant. I mean,
I want to point out specifically, it says parental advisory (parentheses excreted content).
Yeah. Like I said, the parental advisory might just be because, do you really want to give your child amount of shit? Then again, I've seen the poop emojis, plush poop emojis. So this is not that far astray from what is socially acceptable in our present day. Cameron, did you ever think you would have a Great Mighty Poo? I by the way, I realize his actual name may be Chucky Poo, but everyone calls him the Great Mighty Poo. Even Rare, so
it's what he's marketed as in this plush.
Even I don't fight this point. Yes,
first letter caps.
Yes, I don't fight this point. I don't even like the name Chucky Poo. It's Great Mighty Poo is kind of a better, funnier name.
He literally says that's what he is.
Yes, exactly. Now, it is a descriptive term, but it's a wonderful descriptive term. Did you ever think we would see a Great Mighty Poo plush?
Absolutely not.
I've seen fan-made ones that are excellent.
And we've seen Grunt's excellent puppet version.
Yes. But to have official merchandise like this, I mean, look, I'm running out of room for my Versiris Fangamer DKU plushes. I bought a display shelf, a series of stacked corner shelves, just for them, right? And I was like, well, this will probably do, because I can't imagine we'll be getting much after we get the main characters, Banjo-Kazooie, Conker, Yuka, and Laylee. And then we got the Jinjos, and I was like, that makes sense. Jinjos are hot right now, post Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Oh, and we got the Jinjonator. Well, that makes sense. It's their final Smash. And then we got Gruntilda, and I was like, wow, okay. Nervously tugging on my collar. And now we have the Great Mighty Poo, and I'm officially going to have to start doubling up on the shelves.
It's funny. Not only did I not foresee a Great Mighty Poo plush, but just in the pantheon of Fangamer plushes, if you were to ask me after Grunty, well, who do you think would be next in line? I don't think the Great Mighty Poo would have even been in my top 10.
No, I didn't even think we'd get another Conker plush.
And
honestly.
I love that.
Yeah. Like, I thought after Conquer would be it from Conquer. You know, they don't really market many other characters outside of the squirrel himself.
Yeah, like I would say if Conquer got another plush, I would have guessed maybe Greg. And I do want a Greg plush, Fangamer, if you're taking notes.
We'll share our wants at the end of this mini, but
yeah,
I adore this, Cameron, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm super excited to get my plush poop in the mail. I'm gonna have some fun taking pictures with this one. Because these Fangamer plushes aren't really to scale with the Nintendo Donkey and Diddy plush that's currently available. But, you know, if you squint, you can make it work.
Let's also, let's be real, not to scale with their Conquer.
Okay, let's be realistic. Sure.
I think you'd have to be able to sleep on the Great Mighty Poo if it was to scale.
Well, speaking of pillows, we do have the third thing I ordered. And this is something I never knew I wanted. I never knew I needed until I saw it.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you don't know is perfect until you see it.
And it's the Rareware logo pillow plush, also designed by John Kay. This is it's the classic Rareware logo as a pillow. Fangamer knows what they're doing. They know what we want. They know how Rare fans, despite many of us absolutely loving the current Rare logo, we know that nothing will ever eclipse the classic 1994 to 2003 Rareware logo. And to have it in a giant pillow form that I could hug and caress, and that's as far as I'll go with it, people, but it's still pretty exciting, and it's going to pair very nicely with my enormous DK barrel pillow I got about a year or so back.
It's really cool, and I feel like it's the kind of thing that would not exist had Rare not in the mid-90s kind of made their logo into this omnipresent character.
Yeah.
That they made most of their N64 games had like some kind of either fancy intro or comedy skit involving the Rare logo.
Right.
Or the myriad of renders of their own characters, like leaning up against the logo or caressing it, or just treating their logo as an object in physical space. And well, yeah, now you have the logo as an object in physical space.
Chainsawing through the Nintendo logo in favor of the Rare logo, which they immediately did the Xbox logo. The second they announced that they were being purchased by Microsoft, they depicted Conker murdering the Xbox logo. So, I mean, yeah, this is... It's great to have, and I'm really wondering if we're going to also get the wireframe variant of it in the future, if this sells well, because I, of course, will also be ordering that. Really, I wish I had a nice office couch that I crash on when I'm doing work in the office and I need to take a quick 10-minute cat nap, because I would love to just have a place to display and cuddle up with these pillows. But I'm gonna have this. I'm gonna. Right now, I have kind of a gaming space in my office, so I have my pillows on the floor. And when I say pillows plural, right now I have the DK barrel, and I also have something that the Yeti made, which is they repurposed some of their old T-shirts into pillows around the holiday season, and they had the Dixie and Kitty Kong riding the toboggan with Lemguins and Bleak in the background, and I have that pillow as well. So that's an insight into the pillows that Hyle Russell owns that are DKU themed. So that's all I ordered. I ordered those three. I was like, well, this is getting pricey. I need to stop. But had I ordered a fourth thing, it probably would have been the Banjo-Kazooie stationery set. And what kept me from ordering the Banjo-Kazooie stationery set was the fact that I would never want to write on them. It's too pretty to want to disgrace with ink. So,
yeah, the same thing happened to me. I can't be trusted to buy something you're meant to write on and actually write on it.
Yes. This was designed, by the way, by Audrey Weiner, and it has delightful little cartoon depictions of much of the ancillary Banjo-Kazooie cast and Banjo-Kazooie themselves, but you've got such luminaries as Grunty's broomstick, Brentilda, and various transformations. Cheeto's in there. Royston in his bowl is in there. So I as much as I really wanted this, I couldn't justify it. So.
Yeah, it's so thoughtfully designed. Like the stylization of all the characters is really charming. Like the pattern on the backing is really cool. I really like the washi tape.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They've got promotional images in there as well. And on one of them, just kind of depicting how you use the stationery, you know, if you are in Android who recently arrived from the future and you never, you don't know how to use stationery, it depicted as if Banjo was writing on his own stationery. And there's a little to-do list on here. And the 3 things on the to-do list that Banjo had written for that day: call Conquer, talk to Bottles, rescue Tootie. And so I don't know if this is implying from Fangamer's perspective that immediately before the events of Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo first called Conquer to be like, hey, you never guess what happened. Oh, a witch just flew down and took my sister. No.
Do you think these are written in order of priority?
Well,
because it is really funny if they are.
So if they are in order of priority, which most to-do lists are, and if this is supposed to be, from a modern day perspective, not only did Tootie get kidnapped again, but why is calling Conquer the most important thing? And the only thing I could think of when I wrote the news story on DK Vine about this was, it's a welfare check. It's a daily welfare check that Banjo has for Conquer because he knows his old buddy Conquer is in a dark, dark place.
Oh.
I know. I don't think Fangamer intended that. They just really wanted to get the fun shared universe reference in. Because, again, Fangamer clearly knows who's buying this stuff. They know who they have on the hook here. And they know who's going to do a whole podcast episode about this. So, anyway, it was appreciated. It was noticed and appreciated. I mean, 2 DKU references in one fell swoop. Thank you, Fangamer. It's lovely. It's just lovely to see. It feels like we have been heard. And granted, as Andre has pointed out in a live stream chat, we did have Fangamer staff on this very show something like 8 years ago. So clearly, it looks like there's inappropriate collusion going on between us, but that's not the case. Fangamer has gotten so big since we did that little promotional giveaway with them back in the day. Fangamer has become a world-beating entity, and DK Vine is pretty much where we were back then. But I'm so happy for them.
Yeah, they've come so far, and I guess, yeah. In the interest of full disclosure, I should point out that I have a couple times had art of mine printed on Fangamer's promotional cards that they send out free with orders.
Yes.
So my hands aren't clean in this either.
No, but again, it's not like we're getting these goods sent to us as like we're ordering them. We're ordering them like responsible consumers. They didn't ask us to do this. I just wanted to talk about Banjo-Kazooie stationery because I think I don't need to justify myself anymore because I have displayed now over the course of 10 seasons and 22 years of DK Vine how hardcore I am. So I don't need to justify myself. Cameron doesn't need to justify himself. We are good. There's also other merchandise that high quality, by the way. I don't want to just like throw this under the bus like it's Whizpig or something. But there are 3 other pieces of Conker merch. There is a Conker hoodie, also designed by John Kay. That when you think of Conker hoodie, you think, oh, they're selling Conker's hoodie from Bad Fur Day. They're selling a replica hoodie. It's not quite that.
I think that could just be their leftover sands from Undertale hoodies.
This says the king of all, Conker's Brewery on the back, established 2001. It's a cool hoodie. I'm not a hoodie guy. I'm barely a long sleeves guy. I've got to let them puppies breathe unless I have to dress up for, I don't know, a funeral. So, not for me, but still cool all the same.
If you're Conker, you'd go to a lot of funerals.
The patented Cameron Zinger. He saves them up and then he just hits you with the killer joke. And then you're like, well, Cameron wins yet again. There's the Cheers, Jeers, and Beers shirt that DJ Cat referenced. And this is designed by Ian Wilding, which almost sounds like a Matt Cornick character, but no, Ian Wilding, the real name. This is a lovely illustration, by the way.
Yeah, the level of rendering on this for a limited color print is really stunning.
I would almost want to order this, but I took stock and I realized I have way too many shirts with Conker on them. And I don't want to be that guy who walks around. Oh, that's the guy with the squirrel on his shirts. Not even the same shirt. He has the same squirrel on different shirts. I have to draw the line somewhere. I already have a unlicensed Diddy Kong Racing shirt from Dracula Bite, the Whizpig shirt with that. I actually wore on our MagFest panel. And I was actually wearing it when I ordered this official Rare Racer shirt, and I was like, "Wow." My wardrobe is quickly becoming very samey because I have so much in the way of.
I mean, I'm currently wearing their Blast Course shirt as we record this episode.
So yeah. But this
I would love more Blast Course shirts. I would love to have that problem with this.
This shirt, it sort of reminds me of I think it's the Cheers in the title. It reminds me of the opening of Cheers. If Conker were a character on Cheers, this would be the old timey picture that would be for his cast credit, that him holding up this beer. It's a great shirt. I may get it eventually if they don't deplete their stock. I tend to go for the Fangamer shirts that are more evocative than just straight up character depictions. Their Spiral Mountain Explorer shirt, I absolutely adore that. I've ordered it a couple times because I've worn it into the ground. But this is great. I might get it eventually. It's not a high priority for me. And there's also the Drunk Tank print poster by, again, Ian Wilding. It looks like a movie poster for Conker's Bad Fur Day. It's Conker drowning in a pitcher of beer. It says, "A good night, ellipses, leads to a bad day." This is great. I would love to get this framed, but I'm also running low on wall space, if I'm honest.
The rendering on this is beautiful. The colors are beautiful.
Yeah.
I love the cleverness of making the C in Conker into the beer mug handle.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Shit. Oh, that's good. That is good. I like this. I would really love it. But I'm looking around right now. My wall space is also getting very limited. And I was like, this would be great to put over my first 4 figures Conquer statue. I have a Captain Bones poster, a framed Captain Bones poster over that currently. But it's just like I'm running out of wall space. Maybe when I move to a bigger office, this could adorn my walls. But I have to draw the line somewhere, Cameron. Have to. Anyway, that's all. That's all. That's all there is. But this is probably one of the best hauls of new Rare merch since I think they did the holiday stuff for Banjo-Kazooie couple of years back. Since maybe the Rare Racers pins, I don't know. They do these in these huge release waves, and I was just thinking the day before. It's been a while since we had new Rare merchandise from Fangamer. I wonder when we'll get that. And then sure enough, it just drops in the middle of the afternoon, and you're like, oh my god. But I just want to gush really quick before we talk about what we'd like to see next. The quality and affordability of the Fangamer merchandise is so... The quality is well done. I've never had a problem with anything I've ordered from Fangamer. And the affordability is amazing when you consider that this is relatively bespoke merchandise for a niche fandom. And yet they hit this high quality mark every time, and yet keep it within your budget, unless you have to get everything. That then it becomes a little bit unwieldy. But if there's like 1 or 2 things you want, it's pretty doable, all things considered.
Yeah, and it's I like their stuff because it's the right combination of they produce this merch that is clearly made. They find people with great artistic sensibilities to do this and who are fans of these things themselves.
And that comes through. Like that love for the characters, for the universe, it actually comes through in the merchandise, which makes the merchandise extra fun. It's just like, oh yeah, I have a Ginginator plush and its eyes light up. Like what
and
the
like
hell?
that's the Ginginator specifically is fun because I get the impression that was a reactionary product from Fangamer because they mocked up a fake Ginginator to promote the normal Ginginator, the normal Jinjo plushes, and immediately got demand for it.
Yeah.
And I kind of have to wonder if I kind of have to see this like batch of product as maybe a response to seeing their Banjo and Conquer stuff do well, and I hope that's the case. And of course, the Rare Racers pins. I think it's been doing well considering the train is still coming. And I hope it continues to do well. Like I said, I've never had a problem with Fangamer. I've ordered more from them than I have any other company of this sort. I've had problems. Recent problems with other outlets that I won't get into here. And it's just been a nightmare just from the way it was packaged and shipped and ruined, and then their complete lack of care for wanting to correct it. Fangamer is the complete opposite, and so it's been a pleasure seeing them evolve and being a fan of theirs, from that Simian Sidekick shirt way back when, all the way to a great Mighty Poo plush, officially licensed by Rare. So happy for them, and I will continue to endorse them as just keep it coming. But what would we like to see next, Cameron? So I'm sort of obsessed with these Versiris plushes, and even though I have already bemoaned my lack of space, I want the collection to continue because it's not too long ago, I remember seeing the officially licensed Mario plushes, of which Donkey and Diddy are sort of a part of that brand, and just feeling envious
of like all of these like Mario baddies and side characters and variants were getting plushies, like just like down the list. And I'm just thinking, as a DKU fan, I'm never gonna get that. Like, we can't even get a Dixie Kong plush in this day and age. And you know, they're putting out, you know, Kamek and all sorts of like even more obscure Mario baddies, and it's like, oh wow, you know, if only. And now we've got this huge line of not just rare but Platonic too. Like, I love how compatible they are. You know, they're all designed by Versiris, and it's just kind of a sneaky thing. Like, I got Yooka-Laylee and Banjo-Kazooie and Conker, and they're all part of the same set. But I would love to see Mumbo. They did the what was it? What was that 90s Nintendo licensee B&D Associates or whatever that did the plushes back then? They did the Mumbo Jumbo. That was a I think Toys R Us exclusive that you got for reserving Banjo-Kazooie at Toys R Us. I got that Mumbo back in the day, but I would love a Mumbo in this style.
Speaking of things I have to admire from afar, have you seen what that's going for on eBay?
Oh my god. But yeah, so I would love a new plush Mumbo that's more affordable than the first 4 figure statue or the vintage one in this day and age. And, you know, I think Versiris, she could really knock that out of the park and have some fun things with it. And, you know, maybe have detachable eyes, you know, a la Nuts and Bolts. I don't know. But Mumbo and Bottles would be fun. Just, we've never had a Bottles plush, so I'd be happy with Bottles. From Conker, I would want to see. You mentioned Greg, and that's kind of a no-brainer for me. But also Birdie, I think Birdie would make a really fun plush. Rodent, I would love to see Rodent get his due as kind of one of Conker's only friends. And of course, Rare Racer plushes. Let's bring them on. Versiris, I've already seen Versiris' Timber in the pin and a print she did back in the day. So I would love to see that Timber as a plush. Oh my god, are you kidding me? And let's throw in Pipsy, and let's throw in Tip Top, and let's throw in Bumper, and maybe a Whiz Pig, and
and a TT, and
yeah, basically everybody from Diddy Kong Racing that Rare owns. So
I kind of wonder if it would be feasible to, like, I would love to, of course, see the extended Diddy Kong Racing cast, but I wonder if it would be feasible to even produce the car as a plush in like multiple colors and even like fit the existing Banjo and Conker.
Yeah, let's just make all the cars and all the colors, all the hovercrafts and all the colors, all the planes and all the covers. Let's have play sets of every track. Oh my god, give me everything. You know what? I don't need furniture. I'll just be a grown man approaching 40 playing in the living room of his home, Diddy Kong Racing, day in and day out. I'll quit DK Vine. I'll just wear a diaper. That will be my existence, and I would be perfectly content. What about you, Cameron?
This has been a File 2 production.
Que rico.